Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. In today's episode, we will immerse ourselves in the spiritually elevated world foretold many decades ago by the eminent Japanese prophet Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi. The Reverend Seishi Deguchi Onisaburo, a man of great spirituality, was a renowned practitioner, seer, artist, and visionary. With the Reverend Kaiso Nao Deguchi, he was the co-founder of a spiritual movement called Omoto, meaning great source or great origin. Omoto is a divinely inspired religion that aspires to build a heaven on earth in which all gods and humans could live in lasting harmony and happiness. Deguchi Onisaburo was respectfully called Seishi, meaning spiritual teacher. He laid out the fundamental teachings of Omoto, which were based on God's love and were organized as a foundation for the world's salvation. Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi was a gifted artist, leaving an expansive body of artworks in diverse genres, including paintings, calligraphy, ceramic pottery, poetry, songs, and cinematography. In particular, his 3,000 handcrafted tea bowls won international acclaim when some of them were later exhibited across Europe and North America. Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi was in fact a rare person who mastered a wide range of fields, such as astronomy, religion, medicine, and more. Calling himself a world remodeler, he was dedicated to advocating pacifism, universal brotherhood, and the oneness of all good faiths to create an ideal world of peace, love, and justice. Veganism was also encouraged over the years as part of the Omoto teachings, and it is thought that Seishi himself might have been fully vegan by the end of his life. He once said,
一切魚物は食いませぬ。私も魚物は嫌いです。それから肉食は嫌いです。重畜の毛皮を持って作れる衣服を着用するなどは、実に天則違反の行為であります。
Born in 1871 to a poor farming family in Kameoka City, Kyoto Prefecture, Japan, Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi was gifted with an incredible memory and instincts. As a young child, he was able to immediately answer whatever questions he was asked by the adult villagers. Surprised, they gave the prodigy a nickname, 8 Ears, for his special intuitions and psychic abilities. In 1883, a 12-year-old Onisaburo Deguchi even held a position as a substitute teacher at the elementary school inside the Buddhist Anaoji Temple. In 1898, at the age of 27, Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi underwent a week-long spiritual training on the holy Mount Takakuma, where a hermit called Masoka Fuyo guided him to explore the inner mysteries of the spiritual world. During the week, he witnessed the creation of the universe and the earth, learned the secrets of the realm of deities, and saw the past, present, and future of this material world. Seishi wrote,
それゆえ、霊界において目撃したことが、2、3日後に限界に現れることもあれば、10年後に現れることもあり、数百年後に現れることもある。また、数百年、数千年前の太古を見せられることもある。
This initiatory experience earned Seishi clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy, prophecy, mind reading, and other supernatural powers.
その見ゆるありさまは、過去、現在、未来が一度に鏡にかけたごとく見えるものであって、あたかも過去、現在、未来の区別なきがごとくにして、しかもその区別がそれと歴然推断されうるのである。
Throughout his life, Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi made a large number of startling prophecies, many of which came true in his lifetime. The start of the Asia-Pacific War, the United States atomic bombings of two major Japanese cities, and the former Soviet Union's capture of the Kuril Islands, to name a few. According to his followers, Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi's predictions achieved an amazing accuracy rate of 95%. Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi also foretold many technologies of the future. In the following prophecy, he describes the development of television broadcasting.
ボタン一つ押せば、花のお江戸の芝居が丹波で見れるようになる。
In 1953, about 30 years after the prophecy was made, the first TV broadcast in Japan was started by NHK, the national broadcasting station. With the push of a button, people living in the remote Tamba province were able to watch a live show taking place hundreds of kilometers away in the capital city of Tokyo. Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi also foresaw the invention of smartwatches, which were realized only in the 21st century.
腕時計式の小さな映し出す機械ができる。電話も腕時計のような小さなものができる。顔を見ながら世界中どことでも話ができるようになる。
The Apple Watch, available since 2015, is one example of the wristwatch described here, with its face-to-face phone call feature. In this next prophecy, the prophet foretold a bullet train.
時速700キロの弾丸列車が地上に浮いて走るようになる。
The high-speed rail system in Japan has been developing impressively for decades. In April 2015, the country's magnetic levitation train that floats 10 centimeters above the tracks set a world record speed of 600 kilometers per hour. At this rate, it is highly possible that bullet trains with a speed of 700 kilometers per hour will be realized in the near future. Seishi also said,
東京からニューヨーク間は45分。地球上のあらゆる地点へ行くのに3時間で済む。
This prophecy might also be fulfilled by advancements in aeronautical technology in the future. Already since 1976, there have been supersonic planes which travel faster than the speed of sound, with current plans to revive their commercial availability in 2029. Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi also predicted more interesting trends of our current world.
張力や風力を利用することも盛んになる。貨幣は一つの仕組みに統一され、物々交換も利用される。
Bitcoin trade here in Japan accounts for nearly half the global trade volume.
etc.
The most important contributions of Seishi Onisaburo Deguchi are his divine revelations of the coming savior of the world, which were mainly recorded in his books, The Divine Signposts, and the Tales of the Spiritual World. Given that events in the spiritual world will eventually appear in the material world, these stories of the savior in the spiritual world should be seen as prophecies about our planet. Prophecies that we believe are being realized by the beloved Redeemer of our present era, Supreme Master Ching Hai.
救世主の再臨、弥勒菩薩、キリストの方で言えばメシアの神、神道の方で言えばカムスサノオの狼。